Good evening, everyone. Here we are for another roll reveal. This one's going to be a 1951D roll. 1951D. It's reveal number 457. It was scheduled for yesterday, but man, I simply couldn't do yesterday. So here we are today. I've got the coins out. They actually look pretty nice. It does look like an original roll to me. So I'm just going to get started. I know nobody is there right now, but there will be soon. First coin, JJ Addict. And there is a minor RPM there. And get this set the way I want it. Hello, Tim. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit of an RPM. It shows right down here in the lower half of the vertical. There's a different mint mark right there than what's out here. And then this mint mark right here belongs to this lower serif. And then this lower serif right here belongs to this mint mark. So there's two different mint marks there. That's coin number one. In and out. Coin number one. This one goes to JJ Addict. And I check the reverse real quick. I do see die wear here, but I don't see any doubling. All this stuff that you see above the letters is die wear. Rather extreme die wear. Kind of a late die state coin. Is it 1 in 13, you think? Well, that'd be really cool. So let's stick that in the pile of goodies. Well, there's Mary and Malcolm. I knew people would start showing up if I broadcast. If you build it, they will come. Alright. Let's see here. Coin number 2 goes to Crispy. And Crispy. It gets a... It's a minor lower split serif. There we go. That'll show it better. You can see the lower serif is actually doubled. There's two of them there. Another RPM. Another RPM, boys and girls. Oh, Maddie's ready to learn. I'm going to back off a little bit because that's just way too close. I back off and refocus. There we go. Just a happy little cloud lives right over here. Alright. Yeah, nothing else there. Nothing on the reverse, but we do have an RPM. Hello, Kelly Ray. Mr. Fletcher. Good evening, sir. See, I didn't get anything done before people showed up. I was almost afraid that I would start getting through a roll without anybody to enjoy it with. Let's see. Well, I don't see anything here. This one is an earlier die state coin. You could tell that because the outer edges of the devices are actually kind of sharp. And there's not any of that fluff. That stringy fluff that goes out to the edge of the coin. You can see everything looks really sharp on the top. And in fact, that right there, see that little weak spot in the rim? Just above the GO of God? We're going to take a look at the other side of the coin. We're going to see if maybe that's a rim clip. It looks like it could be a minor rim clip. Yeah, let me fold it over here and see. Yeah. See how the rim area gets really weak right at the bottom, and then it suddenly gets strong over there on the side? That's a minor rim clip. Right above the GO of God. Right there. It's very, very minor, but it is there. All that right there is part of a rim clip. What that means is that the planchet was incomplete when it was struck. And it was incomplete by maybe 1 or 2%. Not really enough to make a big difference. But that's what it is, nonetheless. So we're going to write that off as a very minor error. There's an interesting line running through the bottom of the coin there. That was in the die because it's raised on the coin. Nothing really to pull that one out for. Parviz gets the next coin here. I had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Parviz this past weekend, or actually just a couple of days ago. Had a great time talking with him. Says he doesn't do a whole lot of chit-chatting here in the forum because, well, he has an issue with his hand. One of his hands he can't type with, and the other hand he uses to type, which means he doesn't type very fast at all. So he's good to come in and say hi, and good to bid, but to actually converse, he's unable to do that because he goes quite slowly on the keyboard. Here's one for Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray I also met earlier in the week, and she is exactly what we would imagine Kelly Ray being. Very fun, very bubbly, very nice. There's a double lower serif for Kelly Ray. That's going to be the same as the other RPM that we found, not the big one, but the small one. So there is that. Go back to focus. There we go. Somebody hit him in the nose. Hit him right square in the nose. Kelly Ray, did you do that? She's looking over like, what? What? All right. I have a little minor RPM. And nothing on the reverse as expected. There are no known double die reverses for 1951D, so we're kind of doing that cursory look just to be sure. Mr. Birchman? Mike gets this one. Let's see what is zooming by the screen here for Mike. That's another one. Now your marker for this, what I'm seeing as a marker, is a couple of die scratches, north and south die scratches underneath the chin. And then there's one that shows up pretty nicely between the 9 and the 5. It's this little guy right here. And I'm going to let it shine, but we have a minor double die, or minor RPM here. Double lower serif. And we got nothing else on this coin. You can also see that gouge over there next to the T up on the rim. That is also a commonality for this particular minor RPM. Whichever one it is, we will figure that out later on in the process. As we get into processing this roll of coins, we will figure out what all these RPMs are. And the double die that doesn't exist here on the reverse. We're going to pull that one out, and it's going to go on the RPM stack. We got, 4 coins in the RPM stack and only 2 normal ones so far. Getting a good roll here. Let's get on our roll. Oh, this is sweet. What's looky there? That's one of the big ones. That's a D over D over D. Massive RPM. Eric, what do I have here? Eric. Earth calling Eric. Mary says, ooh, I can actually see that. It's got to be like a number 1, number 2, number 3, something up there. One of the ones that's been listed since the 60s. But I count on Eric to be my eyes and ears. All right, Tim tells me it's number 3. Tim beat Eric to the punch that time. So we have, well, what was the other one? That was number 13, I think you said? 13 and number 3? Either way, this is a nice roll. Here's Deanne. Deanne up next gets, well, how about nothing at all? Wait a minute. I see what looks like a little line. Got a little line right here. On the inside of the mint mark. Could be, probably. Eric says it's number 8. And Dennis says number 1. I think we'll figure it out. But not today. This looks like an RPM to me right here. A little line up in the inside of the mint mark, and that's about all you can see. I don't see any die scratches that parallel that anywhere, and the die scratches that I do see in the area are actually a lot older and softer. This is a very nice sharp mark, which tells me it's in the die and was when it started. I'm going to pull that out as an RPM as well. Let's check the rest of everything for doubling and see if there's anything there. And I see nothing else on the on the obverse. Sorry, that's the obverse, not the reverse. Eric's on a phone. Tisk, tisk. Eric's got a dog sleeping on his lap and can't get up out of his chair. That's what's going on. Alright, so we're going to pull that out as a possible RPM. I'm going to stick it in the pile for Eric. And here is a coin for Eric. This would be nothing at all. Well, if he was sitting at his computer, I might have found something for him. But because he's got a Tilly on his... Now, Tilly's the name of a dog. He's got a Tilly on his lap. That could be a really bad thing if somebody doesn't know what a Tilly is. He's got a what on his lap? He's got a beautiful little dachshund. Well, I got nothing here, so coin number 9 turns out to be a normal coin. Let's check number 10, see what happens with coin number 10. Malcolm got a chuckle out of that. Now, Dennis, RPM 8 also looks possible. Could be 8. Could be number 3. Could be number 16. It's definitely not number 74. You don't have 74 of them listed. Alright, well, this one turns out to be nothing on the obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick. See what we come up with. And I see nothing at all. I see there's a die crack, a die chip running off the top of the E. It looks like the E is flying. A little tiny wing. Hello, Ant. Alright, that one's got nothing. Let's move on to coin number 11, Penny Hoarder. And Penny Hoarder... looks like he gets one with the little lines on the inside of the mint mark. I once called this a possible RPM. I have not changed my mind. It's still a possible RPM, so we are going to pull it off to the side to see if there is perhaps a chance it is actually an RPM. And then my services will have done themselves justice to you because, well, not sure how many other people would pull that as an RPM. JJ Addict. Back to JJ Addict. Now let's see what he gets this time. How about another one of the minor RPMs with the split lower serif? See the die scratches under the chin? See the die scratch between the 9 and the 5 of the date? That's going to be the same thing. Even though it has a hit on the mint mark, you can still see the markers and that doubled serif. Found a 1945D. RPM number 1. Let's That's really cool, ain't it? Thomas. Mr. Murphy. That's what Mr. Murphy gets. Well, it appears as though, unfortunately, we have a normal coin here. None of these coins appears are in a 66 or 67 grade, so we're just hoping for die varieties or errors, because high grades definitely not going to happen in this roll. They're kind of neat, let's put it that way. They're not high grade. All right, number 14, Yo Man. Let's see what Yo Man gets. Whoa, would you look at that? Yo Man gets a purty one. Purty one for Yo Man. Uh-oh. Massive spot. Yuck. Sorry about that. Got a pretty RPM with a crusty spot. Well, we can just look at the RPM part and forget about the spot. Yeah, that one goes in the stack. 15. Steven? Well, I am going to start traveling just a little more quickly through this. This is another one of our ones with the little line on the inside of the mint mark. Just so you know, I'm calling it a possible RPM. To be continued. That's for Steven. Here's number 16, Penny Hoarder. Now, these two reveals that I'm doing now will close off the previous week and get us started on the current week. I'm not going to be doing any additional ones this evening. I'll get to those tomorrow or the next day. I have a slight, let's just call it a slight issue with inventory. Basically, I got a bunch of wheat pennies and they're mixed in with a bunch of not wheat pennies. And that's not good, because I have to unmix those in order to do anything with the wheat pennies. And there's a lot of them. They're a large amount of them. There are more than I have ever carried at one time before. Believe it or not. So, yeah, not a happy camper having to go through all of that. Here's number 18 now. Number 18, Jim Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher. Oh, looky there. Mr. Fletcher gets one of the big pretty ones. That's a beautiful RPM. We got a little bit of a Larry on this one, but it's not too bad. A Larry being a fingerprint. Larry, the fat little kid, goes into the mint and starts eating his chocolate bar and touching all the coins. So Mr. Fletcher gets one of the pretty ones. It's supposed to be number 8, I'm hearing, from everyone who is in the know in the audience. Tells me it's number 8. This was a roll ender here. It's an original roll ender. It turned out in the middle of the tube roll. And it is one of the minor RPMs with the split lower serif. What, you don't believe me? Watch it develop before your eyes. I usually charge 50 cents to let people in on this little trick. Right there. Split lower serif. Do not doubt me. Luke, I am your father. All right. That's number 19. Now number 20 goes to Mary. No, that's not Mary. That's Mark. I need to learn how to read. Or just not do it so poorly, one or the other. Let's see. Oh, we have a lot of hits. A lot of hits and no secondary mint mark. And nothing else to be seen there. And a coin for Mark. We're nearly halfway finished with this roll. We've got Parvis coming up at coin number 21. And coin number 21 is... And it's one of our earlier die state coins, but this one, see that black stuff on there? That black stuff comes from the friction wheel on a counting machine. So basically, this coin sat in place waiting for someone to trigger a thumb button that would start the next roll. So this was one of the first coins to be dumped off into a cup that was turned into a roll. Got nothing there except that little spinner mark right on top of the date, which is not going to add anything to its value, unfortunately. There's number 22. Sissy. Well, see, this is another one of those, but it's the first one where I've actually seen there is a sign of a small doubled upper serif there. You can see just a little bit of doubling on the upper serif. Go around here and see what happens. Nope, got nothing else going on there. I'll pull this one out. I'll put it in the stack. That means Eric needs to take a look at this and see if there's any others in there, because there could be others in the roll. Let's see. Had nothing on this one. Nothing at all, man. Alright, that's coin number 23. Got 2 left, and we'll be halfway done with the roll. Here's one for Yeoman. He gets another one of those. That's definitely a split upper serif. So, Eric, we're going to have to go back and pull other coins back out of the roll that are RPMs, that are these early die state coins, because I didn't recognize them at first. But we do have some of these in here. Eric says he's going to be shipping at the beginning of next week, and what do you know? I'll get a coin right here for him. Let's see what he gets. Oh. No prize for the guy with the sleeping dog. No prize for the guy with the sleeping dog. He's got nothing going on here. That's 2 out of 3. Hello, Mr. Pierce. How about Sureg next? Sureg comes up next with, well, it's another one. Another one. Got that split upper serif. Little tiny RPM. And with that, we begin the second half of the roll. Now coin number 27. Batting 27th. Oh. It's a short stack coin. Doesn't have anything on it. Well, okay. So we do number 28 now. Yo, man. Go back to Yo, man. And Yo, man. I think this is a... Yeah, it's a split lower serif. Got a close split on the lower serif. This is not the same die that we've been pulling before as the minor lower serif. This could be... I'm thinking this is probably matching the first coin that we pulled. You just don't see the separation between the vertical lines. But that's what I think this one is. And they're going to go on to stack with the RPMs. Then we're going to pull out Paul Hampton next. And Mr. Hampton, as I so endearingly call Mr. Hapmonton, because there was a couple of times that I misspelled his last name on the flip inserts. There is another one with a minor lower split serif. So that is going to be another RPM for the roll. For Mr. Hapmonton, I misspelled his name. Instead of Hampton, I put it Hapmton. So for the day, he became Hapmonton. Sure he remembers that. Let's see. Well, maybe there are two different dies that have the earlier die state, because I don't see any doubling on the upper serif here. Unless it's got a hit on it. I'm just not seeing it. So, every chance is possible that this could be a different die altogether. But I see no doubling there. Here's number 31. Bo. Nothing there. I did see a little die scratch out in front of the eye that looked like it could possibly have been a doubled eyelid, but yours truly has seen quite enough of those to know the difference, so that's not a doubled eyelid. This is our little minor split lower serif again. See what I'm talking about there? No doubled eyelid, that's a die scratch. This one's for Deanne. Now we go on to coin number 33, Mr. Fletcher. Well, Mr. Fletcher gets one of our, I think this is the upper split serif extraordinaire here. There it is. You can see that split in the upper serif. It's a very small one, but it's there. Did I bought that coin? I don't know what coin you're talking about, Ronald. Did you get in on this roll? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't know anymore because I put these in here over a week ago, so I can't remember. That's another one of our little lines on the inside of the upper part of the mint mark. So this one also is something I'm calling a possible RPM. That's for Sissy. Now number 35. 35. Crispy. Hey, Crispy gets one of our pretty ones. And there we go. Big pretty RPM for Crispy. Now number 36. 36 back to Paul Hampton. Didn't get much last time. Let's see if we can get him better this time. Well, we did get him an RPM. That looks like that original split serif RPM that we had. I'll take a Q-tip and pick this little bit up. Well, it's being cantankerous. I'll get it off when I lift the coin. All right. Now number 37. Parviz again. Let's see what Parviz gets out of here. Oh. It's a really minor split lower serif. That might be too minor. I will look into it anyway. One way or the other, Eric has to say yes or no to all of these. so it won't just be about me. Here's number 38, Mr. Birchman. Bringing Mr. Birchman out. And... could be something, but I'm not seeing it. I'll have to go with a no on this one. Now number 39, JJ Addict. Third and final coin in the roll for Mr. JJ Addict. And he has at least a split upper serif. It looks like this is the same die as the previous one. The previous coin I pulled had this same characteristic. I'm going to have to go with a no on this one too. It looks almost like it has a split upper serif, but that could be part of the damage. A couple of spots over there on the left-hand side. This will be the only reveal that I'm going to be doing this evening. I will come back and do more reveals tomorrow. Have a show on Saturday and Sunday, so I will be out of the office all day both days. This is a pretty nice one. It's got a split upper and lower serif. And what entirely could be a double die lid. Looks like that's possible. Alright. So we got split serifs on this one. This is for Mike Birchman. And here's one for Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray again. What does Kelly Ray get? Kelly Ray gets one of our doubled lower serifs. You can see the die scratches below the chin again. Little stuff coming out of his nose there. What a nice thing to observe. Excuse me, sir. You have a little thing hanging out of your nose. Alright, Carl next. Coin number 42 goes to Carl. And coin number 42 is one of those ones with a little line on the inside upper part of the mint mark. You can see it right there. So that is going to be an RPM, or what I'm calling an RPM for now anyway. So perhaps after I sober up, it won't look like that anymore. But for right now, I'm going to call it an RPM. I'm going to be happy with it. As should you be. Let's see, what's this? That's another RPM right there. You can see the split upper serif right there. Let's check the lower. I got not much on the lower. This is that first... Yeah, this is that first die that we found early on. So we have another. Nice, nice. All right. We are running an average of just about 2/3 die varieties to 1/3 non-die varieties. Here's another one. Bam, everybody likes that. That one's for Mr. Fletcher. That's his second one in this roll. Greedy little guy. Alright. Here's number 45. One for Bo Palmer. Got 5 coins left in the roll after this one. This is going to be one of my little lines. This little line of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Wanda is in the house. There's Parvas and Sandigger as well. What do I have here? Well, this is another one of my split upper serif RPMs. So there's a ton of RPMs in this roll. A lot more than there are non-RPMs. So actually, if you've got a normal coin in this roll, you got the rarity. Carl. Oh, Carl, where's your coin? Here it is. I found it. Guess what, Carl? It's normal. Oh, yuck. Not so good. Sorry about that, Carl. Make sure Jim knows that one of his is yours. I'll try. We'll see how that blows over. Yeah, we have a minor lower split serif on this one. I think that's our second minor lower split serif. Markers look different from the other one. And that would be that for that. Got 2 coins left in the roll. First of the 2 coins, number 49, will go to Eric. And because he's still sitting in his chair with a dog on his lap, it'll be normal. Oh, okay. Eric gets one of the minor double split serifs, and it's really hard to see, but the markers match up. So he's going to get a little bit of a consolation prize, I guess. Last one. Kelly Ray. Kelly. Well, she's got herself one of the minor double split serif RPMs. It's really minor, though. It's really hard to tell. It's going to be one of those where the marker is going to match up to one that we can actually see pretty well, which tells us it's the same die. It just wasn't hit very well. But that's what we've got, boys and girls. That's it for this roll. Let's do a little bit of a recap. Recap is going to be that it's going to be easier to tell you how many normal coins there are than die varieties. So let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 32 die varieties in this roll. More than half the roll. And they are right here. In a hugantic stack. Yes, that's my very own word, hugantic. And that's how the roll goes together. And that's where I finish for tonight. I will be back tomorrow. More stuff. More things going on. I hope you'll be here to join me. We'll do reveal number 458, probably 459 and 60 tomorrow. And then I'll get more ready as I possibly can. Wait, you have a pace arrow, Wanda? Honey, I didn't think you made that kind of money. I'll take it. We had some good stuff here. I want to see a picture of your pace arrow. Can I see a picture of your pace arrow? I want to see a picture of it. You guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace and love to all.